Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education so you can create your ultimate destiny. Today I've got a topic that I think you're going to like. It's called The Key to Success is Recovery. The key to success is recovery. Recovery really is the secret. Let me explain to you what I mean. Why do we constantly expect high performance despite increased pressure and rapid changes in our life? I think we try to search for high performance despite any of the obstacles and pressures in our life, much like people look for the fountain of youth. I mean, I think it's a myth. I think the bottom line is to be a high performance person, you need to understand a couple of things. Now, why are some people good under pressure? Why is it that that certain people can effectively work under high pressure? Sometimes we think it's a combination of just they're better equipped, they have a better mindset, but I really believe it's a combination of your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions, and everything that you've got stacked up in your life. It reminds me of an article I read several years ago by the Harvard Business Review called Corporate Athletes, where it had a title similar to that. What they did is they did some long-term studies on performance of big corporate executives, and they likened it unto the performance of a professional athlete. And these are some of the things they found. Much like professional athletes, executives and entrepreneurs and business owners always try to focus and perform inside what they call an ideal performance state. In other words, athletes don't focus specifically on their primary skills. They work on, for example, like their swing, their shooting, certain fundamental skills. They also work on endurance, strength, flexibility, control. It's the same with business. A lot of times it's not just about your public speaking, your negotiating, your sales skills. I truly believe that as an entrepreneur, focusing on some of those secondary states like your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual states are the things that can really increase your ideal performance state. Now, of course, anyone can perform in a short term despite negative influences, even if they have not much of a focus on their physical, mental, and emotional state. Just like an athlete can. An athlete can do really well if they were smoking and drinking, things like that. But long term, they're not going to have the same success. So we're looking for long-term results, and we want to be able to tap into that positive energy, the ultimate positive energy that's going to be able to help sustain you long term. So here's some things that article I remember found, and some of my own as well, and that is energy and growth and success is managed really with two completely separate things, and we don't think about this. The first is stress, and the second is recovery. If you're an athlete or you work out in the gym, you realize that you think that lifting weights is what's going to create your growth. But in fact, it's the recovery that creates the growth. The stress and the lifting of weights and pushing yourself, that just breaks you down. It literally and physically breaks down your body, and the recovery is what helps you to grow. So it's this rhythmic back and forth between stress and recovery that allows you to kind of get to that next level. Athletes, for example, they don't play 24/7 all day, every day. They have off seasons, they have a game once a week, or they have 3 games, then they rest and recover. Here's the problem. As entrepreneurs, we'll grind. And in fact, it's kind of status quo right now to say, go grind 12 hours, 14 hours, 21 hours, do it 1 week in a row, 2 weeks in a row, 5 weeks in a row. I've done it for 20 years, and it just doesn't work because in the end, you're not purposely factoring in that recovery. So we believe, ultimately from some of the things that I've seen with my company as well as others and successful people, that it's the proper management of your mind, body, spirit, emotions that will help you to be able to create recovery, to be able to create more success. So let's break it down for just a second. Physically, the components of recovery for physical are your sleep, your nutrition, your mental rest. You really need to be able to listen to your body because everyone can't get up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Everyone can't operate on, I have a buddy of mine that just is a phenomenal athlete, and he eats once a day. I mean, I could never do that. It's just impossible for me to eat once a day, but I can't be eating sugar and all kinds of things that are bad for me either, because that's going to hurt my physical equation or the physical component of the equation to be in my ideal performance state. So physical is important. You have to watch that. The second one is your emotional. Your emotional is going to be your purpose, your passion, your challenge, your sense of competition. We need these positive emotions. But keep in mind, positive emotions can spur you, motivation, inspiration, purpose, and passion. But negative emotions can wear you down. Negative emotions, and that's why we want to build up key relationships that help us with our positive emotions, and we need to eliminate or temper or backburner negative emotions, because that emotional state is another key component of the equation towards being successful. The next area would be your mental, and your mental is going to be your degree to focus, the amount of time you spend on your mind, your strategic thinking. These are key areas that are important because we've already talked so much about mindset. I'm not going to continue with this episode, but your mindset is key. And then the fourth area that some people feel is controversial, I believe, is your spiritual. Now, whether you believe in God or religion or the universe or some sense of connection, I believe spending a dedicated amount of time on your spiritual is key as well. So I promise you that if you were to really sit down and recognize that in your equation of your ideal performance state, your physical, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual are all key components, and not just work on reading success books and being a good sales or a negotiator or developing your skills, but actually develop these four components of your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. I think you're going to see huge results. So let me give you a couple of personal solutions that I think can help you in all of these areas. The first is meditation. If you think about it, meditation will help quiet the mind, the body, the emotions, and even connect the spirit. So have you ever thought about solutions, for example, to problems, and you just were having a hard time, but when you stopped and you weren't thinking about it, you were doing something totally dumb, whether it's just mindless stuff or whatever, the solution came to you? That's this left and right brain working together in harmony to be able to create solutions. Your mind is a very powerful tool, but sometimes you need to give it a break and let it work and stop being a taskmaster and pushing it. And meditation is a great way to do that. The second thing is visualization. Earl Woods taught Tiger Woods to form a mental image of the ball rolling into the hole before every shot. Now, why do you think he did that? It obviously worked, right? Well, the bottom line is that neuroscience has proved that visualization literally reprograms the neural circuitry in your brain, and this directly improves your results and performance. So practicing visualization, that's why one of our prosperity pillars is I visualize and manifest my life, right? So overall, I just wanted to kind of point that out to you. I think it's very important that we talk about all the motivation and inspiration we have to do to drive ourselves and our skills and our grind and our performance. But I think sometimes we need to recognize that the recovery is the secret ingredient. The recovery is where you truly see success, and recovery will directly impact your ideal performance state when you focus on your mind, your body, your spirit, your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects. If you'll do that, you can do that through meditation, visualization, or whatever works for you. I promise you'll see some results. I promise you'll feel more balanced, you'll feel more energy, you'll feel more results, and you'll see it happen. As always, my goal with the Daily Mastermind podcast mobile app is just to help give you some tools and thoughts and stir what's already in you, just to unleash what you can already have inside you to have your full potential. It's never too late to start living the life you are meant to live. So that's our message for today. I'll look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Have a phenomenal day.